Hey there guys, DMO73 here. Sorry for the delay, but I still wanted to bring you guys Jason's blue, white, green kind of elf token list. I really like this variant of Faerur. I definitely think it's kind of more fun than the red-green variant, just because like you're actually playing elves, which I think is pretty cool. So we've already talked about Faerur itself a lot. Interestingly enough, this list doesn't play any of the 4-drop that like brings out the Falcon. Tia, sorry. Doesn't bring out Tia at all, which I think is interesting, and I think maybe you could sideboard it in this list for sure, but it doesn't actually run it in the main because it mainly relies on those tokens and then Rendezvous, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. So for the stone deck, it's 4 Deepwood, 4 Gusting Skies, 2 Spirit Stones. The Spirit Stones are nice because it is draw power, and this deck doesn't have a ton of it outside of its cancel. So like this, the Millennium Bonds can't draw a card, the Dawn of the Earth draw a card, nothing else really draws anything. So you kind of can get a dead hand based on if your opponent's deck is playing. So having the draw power to see your Rendezvous is actually pretty important. Moving into the Resonators, 4 Spirit Caller Elves, 1-drop gives you a 1/1 token, 4 Sacred Elves for ramp, 3 Melfies for ramp and damage negation, 4 Windclad Elf for additional token generation, because it's a 2-drop that when it enters gets you a 1/1 token, 3 Arya, because she has Barrier Black, which is nice, and all of your Wind Resonators other than her gain that +2/+2 bonus, so then your tokens are suddenly 3/3s, or with 2 of them they're 5/5s, and it's a little bit of a nice extra bonus without having to use Rendezvous. 4 Commander of the Crowd, which is probably the main one of the deck. When it comes into play, it gets 2 1/1 tokens, and it's a 7/7, which is a good body. And then when you swing in, all of your other elves get +1/+1 until the end of the turn. So like even swinging by itself, it helps make those tokens hit for a little bit more damage. 1 CL, which when you cantrip, torrent with it, you can go grab a 1-drop and put it straight into play, which is great because you can get 2 1/1 elves. An Oberon, which when it enters the field gets you 3 1/1 elves, which is awesome. The other thing about CL is you can use all those 1/1s, tap them in the upkeep to pump up one of your elves or spread out the pumps around a little bit and keep stuff safe too, which is really cool. Moving into the spells, 3 Severing Winds, 3 Millennia Bond, and 2 Faer's Spell is the cancel package. 2 Dawn of the Earth for some protection, as well as being able to untap and swing again. We play Amonsville, though, to be able to let our 1/1 tokens, they get buffed nice, or they can at least block flyers too with your 1/1 tokens, which is great. A Great Tornado is just an additional kill spell. You have a ton of great token generation in this deck, so it's very easy to cast Great Tornado for cheap, which is really excellent to kill J-Rulers and kind of heavy hitters or additions that are getting in your way. And then lastly, the big finisher is the Rendezvous of Wind and Light. So you're casting this during your opponent's turn most of the time because it's quick cast to give all of your creatures on the field +4/+4 permanently through the tokens, the counters, so then suddenly everything you've kind of swarmed the field with, if it wasn't answered, just becomes this massive field of advantage that they just get run over by. And it's also way easier to cast this and kind of more effective to cast this than having to ramp into Faerur's command. Just in general, this is just a better card, I think, overall. Even if it can be canceled a little bit easier, casting it during your opponent's turn rather than wasting a whole turn on your turn to do Faerur's command, I think is worth it, especially because of the cost. But that is the deck. Let me know what you guys think, or if you would try things a little differently. Would you consider playing Tia and her Falcon in this? I definitely think I would. I think it's a really good combo for Faerur. But let me know what you guys think in the comment sections down below. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. Share out the video to all your elf-loving friends. Until next time, this is DMO73 signing off. Huge thanks to the patrons of the channel. You see their names on the screen here, some of them, and the rest are down below in the description for their support of the channel and the content. If you want to get a chance to get your name in the screen here and access to our private Discord server, please consider supporting the channel on Patreon by clicking that little P on the screen. Thanks so much. See you next time.